Have you ever wondered how a country can completely reinvent itself in just a few decades? Well, that's exactly what happened in Indonesia. It went from an economy of local markets and traditional agriculture to a legit digital powerhouse in Southeast Asia. So how did this happen so fast? We're about to connect the dots on this absolutely incredible journey. To really get a feel for this massive shift, let's start with a company that just perfectly captures this modern spirit. It's really the perfect snapshot of where Indonesia is today. And yeah, that company is Traveloka. Now, you might just think of it for booking flights or hotels, right? But its real story, the interesting part, is how it's constantly adapted. It grew from just travel into lifestyle services, and even into finance. That kind of evolution, well, that's basically the DNA of Indonesia's new economy. Which, of course, brings up a huge question. How does a country go from an economy that for centuries was based on agriculture and local trade to suddenly producing a tech giant like Traveloka? To answer that, you and we've got to rewind the clock. So let's do it. Let's rewind. Because to really appreciate how far Indonesia has come, we first need to understand where it all started. For centuries, Indonesia's economy was built on things you could literally grow or make with your hands. We're talking agriculture being king, some small-scale manufacturing, and of course, bustling local markets. Everything was tangible, it was local, and it was based on these really old traditional trade systems. But then, the seeds of change were planted. A few really key moments and decisions started to completely reshape the entire nation's economy. You can pretty much see the whole transformation unfold in three distinct acts. First, you have that long era of the traditional economy. Then, boom, the 80s and 90s hit, and you get this pivotal shift towards industrialization. And finally, the real game changer, the arrival of the digital wave in the early 2000s. So what was the secret sauce behind that industrial push? Well, it was kind of like a perfect storm of change. The government rolled out major economic reforms, they built crucial infrastructure, think roads and ports, they opened the doors to foreign investment, and they loosened up their trade policies. All this together created the perfect launchpad for what was to come. In that industrial base, it set the stage for the next, and honestly, an even more dramatic chapter, the digital boom. This is where the pace of change just goes into overdrive. You see, digital technology wasn't just another small step in the process. Oh no, this was a seismic shift. It completely rewrote the rules for how businesses operate, how people shop, how money moves, everything. And what was pouring fuel on this digital fire? Well, widespread smartphone adoption was absolutely key. It allowed a huge part of the population to just leapfrog the whole desktop computer era and put a powerful computer straight into their pockets. Then, internet access started reaching across the entire vast country, which ignited this explosion in e-commerce. And pretty soon, digital payments just became the new normal. This mix created the absolute perfect conditions for a digital boom. This slide, right here, really gets to the heart of the transformation. You see, Indonesia shifted from an economy based on physical things, like crops and manufactured goods, to one based on knowledge and data. Value literally moved from the farm to the servers, and from the local markets to global e-commerce platforms. It's a massive change. So, with this powerful digital economy now firmly in place, you have to ask, where does Indonesia go from here? Well, believe me, the government has a very clear and very ambitious plan for the next chapter. It's called Making Indonesia 4.0, and this is not just some catchy slogan. It's a full-on national strategy to leapfrog into the future. The whole goal is to embed the next wave of technology, what we call the fourth industrial revolution, directly into the country's core industries. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means using artificial intelligence to make supply chains smarter. It means using automation to make factories way more efficient. And it means using the Internet of Things to connect everything from fishing boats to city traffic lights, all feeding back valuable data. It's all about making the entire economy smarter. When you boil it all down, this entire incredible journey really comes down to this one core idea. It's about the transformation from a resource-based to a knowledge-driven economy. And the end goal? An economy built on innovation, on being competitive globally, and this is important, on making sure everyone is included in this digital future. So you see, Indonesia's story is so much more than just a local success. It's really a blueprint for rapid evolution in our digital age. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. As technology continues to reshape our entire globe, what can all of us learn from a nation that managed to transform itself in basically a single generation?